Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we will be talking about context managers. So this is a wrapper around a class that allows us to handle certain operations safely. Suppose that you are opening a file. In that case we need to properly close the file. If you are establishing some connection to a database, we need to close them properly, or if you are using some network connections, sometimes we might need to end the connections appropriately. So to do this we will use context managers. So in this video we will go in details how we can implement context managers. I hope that you are familiar with try exception kind of mechanisms that allows us to capture errors. Anyway, we will try to implement that. Here I will start with a try block, and here I will make a variable called value which has the value 10, and here I will divide that by 5. So this is divisible, and there is no problem regarding that. We might also encounter some errors if we are going to divide this by 0. So in this case we will have this except block, and here we will have 0 division error. So we are expecting this kind of error to happen. So here I will add a print statement saying that division by 0 error. Okay, now let me run this code, and here we will have no errors, and it will just execute without having anything. But now if I do this one and run the command, run the code again, here we have the division by 0 error, where we expect a 0 division error. That's what we are going to do. But suppose that this try catch block is not there. Let me implement this code statement below this try catch block, and here ultimately it will encounter an error. Here says division error. So this is the type of the error that we are going to receive. So once we have this kind of error, we can have an except block to handle the situation. So we can also have a broad exception if you are not sure about what kind of error that may occur, or there can be many errors. So in that case you can expect an exception. So let me put an exception. Also we can refer that by an alias, let's say E. Anyway, here it will be a general error. I don't know what will be the error here. Let's say error, as well as I will also print the error E. Okay, now if I run this one, here you can see that it results in the error, and division by 0 error is encountered. So that's what we are getting here. Anyway, we will try another example. Here I will put none, and here I will divide none by none. So this is not a 0 error. If I run this one, here you can see that the error is unsupported operands. So this is the error that is occurring here. So we can also have levels of except blocks. So first we will have an except block here, except, and we will accept 0 division error. That's okay, and print division by 0 error. Okay, now we have this error, as well as we have another exception block. So what I can do is when I run this one, as we are expecting 0 division error, it will go here if it is encountered, but this time it's another case where we divide none by none. So in that case this except block is catching that error. So here if I put 5 divided by 0, let's see what happens. So 5 divided by 0 will be a division by 0 error. So in that case we get the print statement printed. So in this way we can have try except blocks to capture errors. But we also sometimes need to handle certain situations, and let's say no matter what, after trying some execution, no matter what, at the end some code statement should definitely run. In that case we can use the finally block. So here we can do some operations that will be strictly executed after going through all these things. Whether or not some error occurs, the final block will be executed. So here I will write this is always executed. So anything that we need to handle at the end could be implemented here, so that it is strictly executed. So let me also run this one, and here you can see that it's a division by 0 error which is captured by this except block, and also we can see this result at the end as finally block is always executed. It doesn't matter, let's say a proper division statement, so 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, and this is always executed gets printed. That means that the finally block is always getting executed in this case. So you can use a combination of except and finally block to handle certain situations that you might need to handle. So especially in case of file operations, so we want to release the resources, or else if say that we are opening the web camera in OpenCV, so in that case we need to release the resources back to the operating system. So we can release the capture object if we use the finally block. So we have a lot of use cases for this finally block. So as we are going towards the way of context managers, let me show you an example. So let's try to open a file. So I will say file is equal to open, I can use this one, and here I need to pass the name of my file. Let's say my text .txt, let's say. Okay, here I am trying to open this file. So next I can do is to try to read the file. So if I run this one, definitely we are going to get an error because there's no file or directory. So we need to create this file before we are going through the process. So anyway, let's create this file. So here I will create a file called my text.txt. So txt, so here I am creating a text file. Okay, now this text file is anyway empty, doesn't matter. So here I have this main file. If I run this one, there's no error because we have this file. So now we are going to try to read this content inside this file. So how can we do that? We can try to read, or we can try to open. So let's also try to open this one. Try to open the file. Let's say if it is possible, please try to open the file. So and also we can accept a broad let's say exception which is too broad as E, and print, let's say print E. Okay, now when run this, there's no error because we are having this text file. If I delete this text file, how can I delete? Okay, I will delete. Okay, delete anyway. Okay, now if I run this one, here you can see that no such file or directory. So it tried to open the file, but it did not succeed. So that's why we are getting this error. So anyway, we tried to open the file, and if we try to open the file, it will go through these try exception blocks. So now after doing all these operations, right, we can try to open the file, we can try to do anything, and finally the proper way is to close the file. So we need to close the file as well. So this is the object that is going to have the references to this my text file. So anyway, to close the file, we can refer the object file.close. So this is the proper way to release the resources back to the operating system. So here also by default it will have some modes that we could use to open the file. So here I will use the read mode here, which is denoted by R. Okay, now we are opening this file in the read mode, and after doing all this, file will be closed. So we will try to do this one, run. So file is not defined. Why is this happening? This is happening because it's no longer in the scope, so we need to have some reference that is able to close the file by using the name. So how can we do that? We can also declare this one here, file. Let's say there's no file is none, so none you can't close, and here we will have an error. So let's try to do that one, none. We cannot do this kind of operation here. So what we can do is reading operations we will handle under a try catch block, but generally opening the file we will keep it as it is. So here I will do this one, and I will then have a try block to read the file. Okay, here I am just opening the file, but I am not reading the file. So let me just put pass here. So let me run this one. No file in the directory. Okay, no file in the directory. I forgot, I deleted the file, right? Okay, let's create the file mytext.txt. okay, and we created the file, and here let me try to adjust the code back and see whether it's now possible. And here I will clear this one. Okay, here I will try to run, then there's no problem. So it will try to open the file, and if it succeeds, there's no exception here, and finally it will close the file. So here I can print file closed successfully or something, file closed successfully. Okay, now if I run this one, the file is closed successfully at the end. So we open the file, then we had this one. So if I open the file, and next what I can do is I can also try to read the file. So how to read the file? If I am reading, I will get the data, right? Data equal file.read. We can use file.read method. Okay, now I will read the file. So here I will read the file. So what I can do is I can print data. So data, let me add this one, comma data. So okay, so now I have this one. If I run this one, data, there's nothing. Why there's nothing? Because it's empty. So here I can write anything. So I'm going to go crazy here. So this is my text file, so it will have this kind of thing, and let me run this one. So here can you see the result? So the result appears. So it will read the file and give this, and finally it will also close the file after the reading operation is complete. Here I am properly doing this one, but this is very lengthy, and it takes time for us to do this operation each time to implement the try except blocks and also the finally block. So to handle the situation, we can use something called context manager. So basically we use this keyword with. So here we use the keyword with, and we will open the file. So open the file. So here mytext.txt, and here I will open it in the read mode. So here you can refer this file by a variable. So that is possible. So otherwise we cannot have references to this object that we are going to get once this is called. So we can refer that object as this, because this will return something, and that returned object will be referred by some kind of a name. So here we can use file as the name of the returned object. So here I can print file directly, so that you can see the result. So when we use this with open thing, it has the implementation that we discussed earlier. So it will close the file properly when we exit out of this code block. So that's the use case of with or with keyword. So let me run this one. So here it shows the references to the object. So if we print the file directly, which is the object, so here is the object that is getting printed. So basically we have no use for this one if we do it like this. So here I can next read the file. So data is equal to file.read, and here I can read, and also I can print the data. Okay, now I've completed my code, and so let me run this one. So here you can see the result as Sandhu. So that means the file is opened and closed properly. So that is very useful to shorten our code. So this is a context manager kind of an operation which is already available in Python. But suppose that you want to create your own context manager and handle the situation at the entry point and the exit point. So how can we do this? We can implement a class. So here I will take the keyword class and create a context manager. So here let's say my context manager. So this is in Pascal case, my context manager. Okay, this is the beginning of the class, and here we can use a special method that is being called at the start. So this method, this is similar to the constructor. Constructor runs is the first method that will run when an object is created. Similarly, when we create this kind of context manager, we have a special method that will run first. It will run even prior to the constructor. So here that method is called def, and here it's underscore enter. So it is the entry point. So here, as I mentioned, so it will have this the object anyway. So entering point is this one. So once we enter, we also need to return the object, because we will be using this object with the keyword with, as we discussed earlier. So anyway, let's print some statement entering the context. Okay, entering the context, we printed that one. And also we need to return the object, because sometimes we might be using this as a variable. So once it entered, next we have to return the object, otherwise we will have trouble when we are referring to the object by some alias. So that part, of course, we need to be careful. You will see what I am talking about when we see the example. So now anyway we will return the object, return self. Okay, this is the entry point, and also we have to define the constructor is optional. Definition for the constructor is optional, but we will also define the exit method. So this is the last method that will be called at the end of the operation. So we can use this one as it is, print exiting the context. Let's put exiting context. Okay, now we printed these two things, and next what we can do is we can use the with keyword to create an object from this context manager. So with my context manager, I can create an object. So this will return me the object when this is called. First the enter, the under method enter will be executed and it will return the object. Next, after that one, other code statements will be executed, and at the end of execution of the code statements, this function will be called. So these things will happen automatically when we use this with keyword. So here what I can do is, with my in order for me to refer to anything inside this one, we need an alias. So first, without an alias, I will try to do this one. So print, I will say code below the with statement. So let's see the order. So first this should be executed, next what will happen is this one, and finally this one. So let's see whether it is the same order. Enter in the context, which means that this method was called. Okay, next code below the with statement, that means this statement was executed. So 1, 2, and finally the last one, exit, was called. Okay, now anyway you can also have the constructor. So def dash dash init. So here let's say self dot name is equal to anything, you can hard code the value, say some. Okay, now when I do this one, when I do this thing, if I need to call these attributes, then I have to have some reference. I will ask, let's say object obj. So I have this reference. Now with that reference I can refer to the attribute. So print obj dot name, right? Okay, I can now directly call the attributes like this. Next I will run this one. So here you can see that enter in the context, call below the statement, which is this print line, then it will print my name, and finally it will exit after executing this code statements. So to check the order of execution, let me add a print statement here. So let's put constructor was executed. Now let's see what is the order. Yeah, it's print. Okay, it's statement expected. Let me run this one. Unexpected indentation. So where is the unexpected indentation? Here. Okay, it's some typing mistake. Okay, run this one. Here let's say first the first thing to run is the constructor. That is a must, right? Because we need to create the object first. I was thinking like the enter method will run first, but anyway the constructor is the first to be executed because it need to create the object. So here after running the constructor, it will run this enter method. That's why we have this one. Then we will execute these two code statements, which are these two, and finally we have this exit block which will be executed next. So this is the order of execution when we are using context managers. Anyway, like this is okay, but to make our life a little bit easy, we have some similar method to create context managers. That's by using a library or a module from Python. From we can write context, I don't know whether this is available, context lib. Yes, context lib import context manager. So here we have this one. So by using this library we can change the functionality of a function so that we can implement context managers very easy. So to do this we need a function. So this function we can define so define my, let's say my context. Okay, so here I am defining a function. So after definition we can implement the things inside. So here what I can do is here I can print enter in the context. I will put context. Next what I can do is I can have a try block. So here we have the keyword yield. I think yield is used with generators and okay, so after the yield one we need the finally block as well. So finally what we can do is print I can add exiting context. What did I do wrong? Yield is a keyword, right? Yield, I don't know why it's showing up red, but this is okay, and it runs normally. So yield is a keyword that will be similar to a return statement, but it will return back and continue the rest of the code once this is over. So anyway, this will do nothing, this is just the definition, so we need to call the this thing, but still it is not a context manager because we have to use the decorator as well. Decorator we can use as context manager. So I think it's simple, context manager, yes, okay, we will use this decorator and it will change the functionality of this function to become a context manager. So if I run this now, still there's no problem, but as this is a context manager, I can use the with keyword with my context manager. So this is basically something similar to a function. So with my context manager, here we are creating an object, so it will actually have the structure similar to a class. So it will create some objects. So print let's say code in the middle, let's say. Okay, let me run this and see what happens. Yield is not defined. Okay, it says yield is not defined, my bad, I misspelled it, yield, I don't know. Next I will run this one. Now it is behaving properly as a context manager. So first enter in the context, this is the starting point. Next, code in the middle means this one, so it will execute all the code statements available under this object that we create, and next it will have this at the end, which is denoted by the finally block. So in this way we learned about some details regarding the context manager. So let me put middle one. So you can have several code statements, but at the end it will run the finally block. So 1 2 3, let's say 1 2 3, and if I run this one now, here you can see enter in the context, code in the middle 1, code in the middle 2, code in the middle 3, and finally exceeding the context. So we learned how to handle certain operations safely by using context managers as well as try, except, and finally blocks. So with the use of with keyword we can further extend the capabilities of such context managers. So this video is about context managers, and hope that you learned something. This will be useful in certain situations where you need to deal with the resources properly. So thank you very much for watching.